Hello, all. Welcome to this Christmas special part 2 episode of the Business Developer Podcast with Sujay. This podcast serves as a source of inspiration for business developers. By listening to this podcast, you may gain some ideas, inspirations, or food for thought towards your own journey of developing your business successfully, now or in the near future. It's Christmas time, which means it's time for gifting. So in this Christmas special part 2 episode of 2020, I would like to take you through the journey of the Business Developer Podcast in this year and present to you snippets from each one of the latest 8 episodes in this year, which are gifts of thoughts, ideas, wisdom, experiences shared by our guests. Many thanks to each one of the guests for doing that and thus helping the community of business developers. If you have missed listening to the Christmas special part 1 episode, please check out the episode published on December 20th. Continuing from that episode, we start this Christmas special part 2 episode with episode number 10, wherein we had the pleasure of hosting Maria Frickman, founder and CEO of Isbjorn, a reputed lifestyle brand dressing up tomorrow's adventurers. In that episode, Maria took us through a journey over the past 15 years of building up the Isbjorn brand and the company from scratch. She shared her belief in inspiring our younger generation to be outdoors, enjoy and appreciate nature, thus be the future change agents towards us living sustainably. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
What we're trying to achieve here, it's not only one single thing that we call sustainability. It's both the material side, but also the perspective of the kids actually deserves the best because they are the future. And if we don't treat them well, then if we don't allow them to keep the love they have naturally for the outdoors, being outdoors, they will grow up as adults that are detached from the outdoors. They don't feel anything for it. They don't care about it because they are not used to spend time outdoors.
I love that perspective of sustainability which Maria shared. How about you? Positive mindset and attitude towards living sustainably in our younger generation is critical for our future. Are you working to develop a lifestyle brand which also promotes sustainability? If so, I would highly recommend you to listen to episode number 10 with Maria Frickman, published on October 24th, and gain some ideas or food for thought towards your own journey of developing your business successfully, now or in the near future. We did another episode bringing focus on sustainability. That was episode number 13. To strive to challenge the community of business developers with different perspectives. To enable them to think beyond only profit for their shareholders, but also think about the benefit of the extended stakeholder base, which includes the people and the planet. To enable us in doing so, we had the pleasure to host Anders Wickman, a well-known personality and a sustainability champion. Anders brings in diverse and in-depth knowledge and experiences. He was elected to the Swedish Parliament in 1970 at an early age of only 26 years. In 1978, Anders became the Secretary General of the Swedish Red Cross. During the period 1995 to 1997, Anders served as Policy Director of the United Nations Development Programme and Assistant Secretary General of the UN. In 1999, Anders was elected a member of the European Parliament. His work played a role in adoption of a Climate Act in the Swedish Parliament in June 2017. Throughout his life, Anders has also written multiple books, along with his co-authors, pertaining to sustainability issues. In that episode, we also discussed how products as a service business model could help drive sustainability in our economy and be leveraged by business developers as a significant market opportunity. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
The internet, the fast development of digital technology and the coming of Internet of Things is going to help a lot because it means that the producer can monitor and control and be closer to his client than before. And it also builds up trust between the producer and the client or consumer. So there are many benefits.
Does products as a service business model sound interesting to you? If so, listen to episode number 13 with Anders Wickman, published on November 15th, and gain some ideas, inspiration, or food for thought towards developing your own business now or in the near future. Carrying on the thoughts and ideas shared in the episode with Anders, we brought focus on business with a purpose in episode number 15. Businesses need to look beyond only profit for the shareholders. People and planet need to be also brought into the equation, along with profit. To enable us in doing that, we had the pleasure of hosting Adam Webb, founder of Lifelong, as a guest to that episode. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
Well, the inspiration is about creating a business with a purpose is what it was for me. The last startup I worked for didn't have a purpose. It was like we were taking rather than giving. And I just had this burning desire to create a company which was good for the planet and good for people. And that's where the inspiration came from.
With his experience with multiple startups, Adam is presently on an exciting and challenging journey on building a business with a purpose. Shouldn't we be developing more businesses with purpose, which includes people and planet, not just profits? I would highly recommend you to listen to episode number 15 with Adam Webb, published on November 29th, to gain some ideas or food for thought towards developing your own business with purpose beyond profit. Generating profit for a business and existing sustainably to nurture the planet is all done by the people in a business. A business is by people, for people, and with people. And where people exist, culture takes form and shape. In our episode number 14 and 16, we brought focus to people and culture, the bedrock for every business, and also the key reasons for success or failure. In our episode number 14, we had the pleasure of hosting Sukhdeep Arora, Chief People Officer at Anarok, as the guest to that episode. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
You remember this November 2008 terrorist attack on Taj in Mumbai? One was a story about the terrorist attack. The other story that took headlines was how employees of that hotel went out of their way, risking their lives, and saved so many guests. And no one was guiding them, no one was leading them to do that. It was just the way the culture of this organization was, that they just acted.
And in our episode number 16, we had the pleasure to host Anders Ingves, who has a rich and diverse experience as a business leader since the past 35 years across multiple industries in multiple countries. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
If you look at group dynamics and the research around that, if the founding team is a high-performing team, the first recruitment in might put the new team to a lower efficiency level than the former. That is not something that you calculate on if you sit financially and calculate employees.
Interesting perspectives, right? Every business developer needs to be passionate about the people and the culture in their business. I would highly recommend you to listen to episode number 14 with Sukhdeep Arora, published on November 24th, and episode number 16 with Anders Ingves, published on December 6th, to gain some ideas or food for thought towards leveraging people in your business for profitable business growth and existing sustainably to nurture the planet. Carrying on, we published 3 episodes sharing the journey of 3 business developers, developing different types of businesses in different geographies and in different phases of their business. We covered those in episode number 11, 12, and 17. In episode number 11, we had the pleasure of hosting Vijay Prabhat Kamlakara, founder of Story Trails. Story Trails was born with the idea of experiencing India through her stories, of savoring the local sights and sounds, but through the eyes of a storyteller. In that episode, Vijay took us through his journey over the past 13 plus years of developing Story Trails and shared how he and his organization has been on a continuous reinvention journey over the past 13 years. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
I think one of the most underrated qualification or a requirement for any venture is persistence, right? Because like you say, it takes time, and very few organizations get it right the first time or the second time or the third time. Usually what happens is many tend to lose steam along the way. But if you can stay the course and you never stop reinventing, I'd like to believe that you are bound to come out on top at some point or the other. We are still aiming for that and hoping to get there, but we don't forget to celebrate every small win.
Persistence is key to success for a business developer. Would you agree with that? Business developers need to also take their businesses on a continuous reinvention journey. To gain some ideas, inspirations, or food for thought, listen to episode number 11 with Vijay Prabhat Kamlakara, published on October 31st. Then in episode number 12, we had the pleasure of hosting Jonas Theodorsson, co-owner and business developer of Keywordio, which has been in its 4th year of existence. Jonas is also a frequent speaker at Google, Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, and the Stockholm School of Economics on topics related to growth for global e-commerce companies. In that episode, we listened to Jonas' journey of developing his business Keywordio. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
Go back to Daniel. He had something that he had the black book concept that I think is super smart, because Daniel, he had like 1,000 ideas all the time, and he was really a multi-talented person, but he had this black book by his bed always when he was going to bed. So I don't think actually he had more ideas than the average person. I just think he worked more on thinking about them and also remembering them, and that's what the black book by his bed was all about.
Maintaining a black book of ideas is a smart thing to do for business developers. I have taken that as one of my learnings from the discussion with Jonas. Would you also? It is important to draw our own learnings from the life situations we face, even from listening to a podcast. Listen to episode number 12 with Jonas Theodorsson, published on November 8th, and draw your own learnings or food for thought towards developing your own business, now or in the near future. Then in episode number 17, and the final episode of 2020 with a guest, we had the pleasure of hosting a lifelong business developer, O.A. Holt, who is presently building up his young business, which is in its 2nd year of existence. O.A. has been a business developer since he was a teenager, always on the move, never getting tired, and practicing the philosophy of get it done. He has been associated with leading global companies like Kinnevik, Spotify, Microsoft, Acast, to name a few. O.A. is presently working hard to develop ACamp, supporting sustainable tourism and local entrepreneurs. Let's listen to a snippet from that episode.
My mantra is kind of like, I call it 3D, right? Do, delete, and delegate. Myself is, I do everything. I fix the coffee, I do the strategy, and so does everybody else, right? And also when you delete, it's kind of like, what is really important? Because you get a lot of tasks and you get a lot of action. What is really important for the business and for people? I think when you are really good at delegate, you get people to grow, right? So I think ACamp, it's not just me as the drivers, it's everyone.
Interesting mantra, right? Shouldn't every business developer follow that mantra of do, delete, delegate? What's your mantra for success? Listen to episode number 17 with O.A. Holt, published on December 13th, and gain some ideas or food for thought from a lifelong business developer. So that was the Christmas special part 2 episode of the Business Developer Podcast in 2020. Hope you liked it. I hope to soon come back with another special episode before the end of the year. Watch out for that. Till then, stay happy, healthy, curious to learn. And it's Christmas time. Cherish the moments with your family, friends, or loved ones. Wish you a Merry Christmas. Bye for now.